Present!
Hi, guys.
Hi. Fire! Private load!
Today is our Revolutionary War Living History Day. We have our redcoat demonstrators. Speakers on local indigenous history and native folk botany and things like that. The real reason that Revolutionary War Living History Day got started was because Cornwallis himself occupied our town starting on February 19th in 1781. So typically at a Revolutionary War event, you're going to see the American side of things, not necessarily the redcoats, but we're a little bit different since the American patriots were never really occupying Hillsborough and Cornwallis's men were. So kind of a unique opportunity to hear a little bit about that side of the Revolution.
I'm portraying a corporal in the 23rd Royal Welsh Fusiliers, the 23rd Regiment of Foot, the Royal Welsh Fusiliers. So we're wearing a standard British uniform. This is actually known as a late war kit. It's very different than the early war kit. The 23rd Regiment of Foot was famous for having bearskin hats. Those became impractical as the war went on and the war moved south. And so we transitioned to the standard tricorn hat. We have 3 feathers because as a Royal Welsh Fusilier unit, we're actually associated with the Prince of Wales, and the 3 feathers represents the Prince of Wales. Like I said, it's a red coat, but we have blue facings. Different coats have different color facings. The royal blue signifies that we are actually supported by the Prince of Wales, by royalty.
And then obviously these guys.
You have your coat, you have your cartridge box, you have your belt with your bayonet, you have a canteen, right? You have your canteen, and you have a haversack that you carry your goods in. Our buttons have the 23rd and the Prince of Wales feathers on them. They're kind of unique. The 23rd Regiment of Foot was an elite unit and was present during the entire war. We were actually called for and arrived in Boston in 1776. So we were present the entire war and saw the most major battles.
Any questions, comments, concerns about what they just saw?
This is a standard brown bess musket. It's a musket because it does not have rifling. It's smooth bored inside the barrel, which is different than our rifle. Our rifling has kind of a spiral groove. Musket is smooth bore. Rifling was a newer technology, a more expensive technology, and your standard British soldier was not carrying a rifle. They were carrying a musket. That meant the efficacy of the firearm was not as good as a rifle, and that's why you had a line of soldiers close together, and they were firing together. Because in essence, you're acting as one giant firing line, right? Again, this is not a sight for aiming. This is actually to attach my bayonet. Your brown bess has a hammer, which is holding a flint, and this is called the frizzen. The idea is that the flint would hit the frizzen, would create a spark. There would be gunpowder in this pan. That spark would ignite a little flash in this pan. Hopefully a spark would go into this hole and create an ignition, an explosion inside the barrel, which would fire the musket. First they would take their cartridge, put a little of the gunpowder in the pan, close the hammer stall, pour the rest of the fire, the gunpowder and the paper and the cartridge down the barrel, ram it down in, and then come up and fire.
Fire.
Some of our colonial foodways and just general colonial life demonstrators as well. Speakers on local indigenous history and native folk botany and things like that.